Hello and welcome here to TalkFCB and welcome back to the channel here today, guys, where we are building up to Barca's crunch game in the Champions League, final match of the league phase, and it is coming at home against Copenhagen. Now, of course, this is a very important game for Barca. I wouldn't say that it's tremendously decisive, and I think maybe it's being bigged up a little bit in the media. Oh, this is make or break in terms of the Champions League, but that's not really how it is. I mean, Barca, they're going to qualify. There's only so much jeopardy here that we can actually talk about. Yeah, we'd love to be in the top 8, but obviously, if not, we just drop down. We're in that playoff round. It's 2 extra games, which we don't want. That's ultimately why we want to be in that top 8. We want to get through safely. We want to avoid the extra 2 games, of course. Give yourself as much rest as possible. But if we do fall into that bracket, we're going to have to get through it. We're going to have to play those 2 games. Hansi Flick has said it himself. If we have to play them, we will need to win them to get through. So obviously here, we want to make it into the top 8, but we are going to go through regardless because of the way the Champions League is now set up.
I hope they are good. They are feeling good with confidence. We have to respect Copenhagen, but they also have to win when they reach the next round. And this is always what I say to the team. Most important thing is that we do our job, and we have to defend well. We have also play on our best level. So it will be not the easy game, but at the end it's clear we want to win, and also we want to win I want to reach the first 8. So this is our job. What to do.
But I thought today, guys, what we would ultimately do is just look at what it would take. What's going to happen on Wednesday night in order for Barca to ultimately reach that top 8 position. Because as you can see right here, all of the games, they're going to be played on Wednesday night. It is going to be absolutely crazy there. The goals are going to be going in left, right and centre. You're going to have to be watching the scores, what's happening elsewhere. Because ultimately, it doesn't only depend on us right now. Because as you can see, Barca are in 9th position in the standings. Of course, they're just outside of the top 8. And you do think they're looking at that league table. How important would it have been to win against Club Brugge? I think personally there, we dropped massive points in that game that could have made things a lot more comfortable for us. And as you will notice, we are only outside the top 8 right now on goal difference.
So we're looking what is in our hands. So I think it's good to do this like this because we have to play also again a tough match against Copenhagen. So for me, it's like that, and we have to play our best level. This is our philosophy, Always, as I said, no excuses, never, and looking forward. So we have the confidence in our style, how we play football, and this is what I want to see. And this Champions League, and Champions League is always about reach your top level.
It is looking very, very likely that on Wednesday, goals are going to be massive. And that's why here, Barca against Copenhagen, they will need to score. Ideally, you score early, you get the tempo going, you get the crowd involved, and you just go for more and more and more. But if you take a look right here about, first of all, who is ahead of us right now in that top 8. Well, Real Madrid, they're only 2 points ahead of Barca, so technically there we could still overtake them. Bayern and Arsenal, they are both out of reach there in terms of who is catchable. You've got Liverpool. I mean, it's extraordinary, isn't it, that Tottenham, given their struggles in the Premier League, they are inside of the top 5 in the Champions League right now. But it's interesting to see some of the games, that these teams have. When you're looking there at Tottenham, they're away at Eintracht Frankfurt. Real Madrid will play away at Benfica. But then you've got a really interesting one. PSG up against Newcastle. Those are 2 teams there that are currently ahead of us in the top 8. But they play against each other. So one of those, it's inevitable. If we were to win, we would overtake one of them. Because even there, if they draw, of course, they're only going to gain a point apiece. One of them then, if they were to be on the losing team, though, they would be overtaken by Barca with a win against Copenhagen. So that there is an opening for us. You've got Chelsea as well in that group right there, and they are actually playing away at Napoli. So a lot of the teams that are ahead of us there in the top 8, they do have away matches in the Champions League phase. That is something certainly to bear in mind, but we've also got to be aware, guys, of what's going on behind us. Because as you can see, there's a whole stack of teams all on 13 points right now. And there's also others lurking around the 12-point mark too. Everybody will feel as though they're in with that chance. If you score enough goals, if you win comfortably, you can certainly make that leap up into those automatic places.
We have a big chance to reach the first 8 in this last match, and we will do everything to reach it. And I like this new format.
Because I think there are several teams now and several games that you need to keep in mind, thinking there about goals, thinking about teams potentially winning comfortably when you're looking at those teams behind us. Because, for instance, there, have a look at Sporting. Now, they have been very, very impressive in the Champions League this season. They've got some excellent results, and what they also have is an away match against Athletic Club. Now, at times you think, a trip to San Mamés, that's not going to be easy. But at the same time, Athletic in the Champions League, they've been a bit of a joke. There's been a lot of underwhelming performances from La Liga teams right here in the Champions League phase, so Athletic are not really going to trouble Sporting. I would expect they could win that game, and maybe even comfortably. You look at Man City as well, they're outside the top 8, they're looking for goals, they're looking for any advantage, they're at home against Galatasaray. That's another opening there. But even Galatasaray, they're down there. They're in 17th place, but they're only on 10 points right now. So Man City, they will be trying to win comfortably there. You've got Atletico Madrid. They are at home against Bodo Glimt. Now, that's another game where if they can get ahead, you could see them maybe winning that game comfortably. Although, to be fair, they pulled off some incredible results this season as well. The opposition there. And you've got Atalanta, you've got Inter, you've got Juve, you've even got Dortmund. All of these teams will still fancy their chances in reaching the top 8. So Barca, they've got to be aware. We have to understand, ultimately, do your job. You've got to beat Copenhagen. You've got to beat them as well as you possibly can. Get the goals, make it comfortable, make sure your goal difference is sitting pretty. And at the end of it, it's going to depend maybe on other results. We're going to have to wait and see what happens. But hopefully, in the end, it will prove to be enough. Please, guys, let me know your thoughts down below. Do you believe that Barca have what it takes? Do you believe that we will end up finishing in the top 8? But if we don't, is it the end of the world? Is it as big, maybe, as it's being blown up to be right now when you're listening to the analysis on that? Please do let me know all of your thoughts. I will see you soon. Let's hope for a great night, and let's hope to avoid those 2 extra playoff games. Thank you indeed, guys, for watching. I will see you soon. But until next time, as always, Vejska. El Barca.